Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to go over this problem from StrataScratch. If you like such videos, do comment down below and I'll make more such videos. So essentially this is a platform where you can practice data science related questions. You can use different languages. So I'm using Python and manipulating the data using the pandas library. So let's get right into it. The problem is bikes last use. It's been asked in Lyft and it's an easy question. So essentially what the problem is, let's have a look at the data first. So essentially you have some data about bikes. You need to output both the bike number and the date time stamp of the bike's last use. So the date time the bike was returned. So you might guess why this is relevant to Lyft. And you order the results by the bikes that were used most recently. So if you have a look at the data, this is the data description and this is the head of the data frame. So the head returns just the first 5 rows. So you have the duration, the usage duration, the start time, the starting station, all of that stuff. But what you really need is the date. You need to sort it by the ones which were used most recently, and you need to return only the first occurrence of the last use. So a bike might have been used by 10 different riders, but all that matters is when were they used most recently, right? So there are multiple ways to do this, but first let's uh, understand how we're going to approach this problem. So we can see there's an end time column which basically solves our problem of getting the most recently used one, because if we sort our data frame by the end time in the reverse order, so the descending end time, the top occurrence would be the last used one. Then all you need to do is drop all occurrences of a particular bike number except for the first occurrence, because the first occurrence would be the last time the bike has been returned in our sorted database, and after that all other occurrences do not matter to us. Also, if we look at the expected output, you can see you have only two columns, bike number and last used. So another thing to note is that the end time column is renamed to last use, which can be done using the pandas rename a function, and you need to drop all of the other columns. So let's get right into it. uh, yeah, so let's first sort the data frame. So all you need to do is call the sort values function, which is inbuilt in the data frame, uh, which is inbuilt into pandas, and use the end time column. So by end time means using the column with name end time. Also you need to supply ascending equals false, because by default it's sorted in descending order. Let me just make some space here. So our first step is done. Now what we need to do is we can do this in multiple different orders, but what I'll first do is I'll drop all duplicates. So what the drop duplicates function basically does is it keeps the first occurrence and drops every other occurrence. So I'll drop all the occurrences of the bike number, all the duplicates in the bike number column, so the first occurrence is preserved. After that I'll just take a subset of the data frame, because I only need the two columns which are mentioned here, the bike number column and last use. So right now I don't have the name last use. I'll rename it at a later stage. So what I'll keep are the bike number and the end time column. So what we've done so far is sorted them by end time, kept only the first occurrence, kept only the two columns which we need. So we are almost done. The only thing remaining for us to do is renaming the columns. So we can rename them by using the rename function. So the syntax is a bit weird for this. What you do is you supply a dictionary into the columns parameter, and where the keys are the pre-existing column names, so end time, and the value is the new column name which you want it to be replaced by. So I want it to be replaced by last used, and this is pretty much it. Now if you just print this, you should get the correct output. So you can see this looks quite similar to what we are expecting. The column names are the same as well, and since the expected output type is a data frame, this is a data frame. If I click on submit, the solution was accepted, so it's solved. I'd already solved it before, so it already had that green tick, but again it was solved. um, Again, you can compress this logic in multiple ways. So one way to compress this would be, you can pass an in place equals true parameter here, and what that would do is basically, if you solve again, it would just save you one equal sign. So I don't really prefer to compress this, but I can show you what the solution they have their themselves is. So their solution essentially does the same thing in a different way. So they use two frame instead of rename. They use reset index. They use the same sort values function, and they group by bike numbers instead of doing a drop duplicates and like keeping the max. So I'm not doing that, but I prefer my way of thinking about it, because at the end of the day, this is much more debuggable than this. But performance gain wise, this might be a bit superior, but I don't think, for things where you're doing it only once, you need to think a lot about performance. But if uh, I guess if this is being sent into some production kind of setup where this is being run multiple times, then you might have to look into how you can squeeze out every little bit of performance. So thank you guys for joining in. Hope to see you again next time as well.